We're already getting our second Mbappe Player of the Month SBC, and now EA Sports can't control that, but what they can control is Christian Pulisic, who just got a Player of the Month SBC, is now getting an Ultimate Scream SBC. On top of that, Marcus Rashford, who just got a great evolution just 2 weeks ago, is also now getting a Player Pick SBC. When Jamie Kane and the rest of the EA Sports employees came out and said that they were going to slow down the power curve as to not outdate your teams as quickly, I assumed that it was going to be a blatant lie. What I didn't expect is that they were going to actively try to replace your squads as quickly as possible. The Christian Pulisic SBC is still active as we speak, and it is for another week right now. You can complete this SBC while the next Christian Pulisic SBC is going to be out. So if you already did his Player of the Month, EA are basically saying, fuck you. Now, thankfully, I haven't done any of those big SBCs or evolutions, but honestly, I just got lucky that I haven't done those. I haven't really acquired the fodder on my new account quite yet to do any big SBCs. Instead, I'm rocking an untradeable team with a couple of the investments in the squad, which I think is the best way to do it, because that way you know you're not losing coins. Like Lenny Yoro, we bought for 67k. I could probably sell him for near 100,000 coins now, and I get to use him all the time while he's going up in price. So today, I'm going to show you more investments beyond the Scream cards that we invested in very recently, like that Mbomo and Fornals that I have in my team, and all of these other cards you see on my transfer list. But we've got some investments that might link to these Scream SBCs that are on the way, and Pulisic and Mbappe and Rashford are just the tip of the iceberg. We've got even more for you guys today, so if you're excited, drop a like on the video right now. We're going for 400 likes, and let's hop into it. What's the most important thing in FC 26 Ultimate Team? It's coins. And where can you get the cheapest coins? At Loot Bar. It's the cheapest and it's the safest coin trading platform on the entire market. It's 10% cheaper than all the other platforms. And if you use my code NITRO, you're going to get 10% off during the Ultimate Scream promo. And if that's not enough percent, you'll get another 5% bonus added to what you order. And an extra 5% off for returning customers too. Loot Bar has quick delivery within a half an hour. Big creators use it, and it also has great reviews. Don't forget code NITRO at checkout. I guess my point about this tirade is that even though, you know, they've got cards like Kylian Mbappe, they can't do anything about him winning Player of the Month 2 months in a row, and they do have to push the power curve forward a little bit, you know, so this next Mbappe is probably going to have a different playstyle plus and maybe a couple stats that are a little bit higher. But when you look at a card like Pulisic, that's a completely voluntary SBC that they're coming out with. It's an Ultimate Scream SBC, and Ultimate Scream cards are just completely random. EA Sports just pick them out of thin air. There's 20,000 different players in this game. Does it need to be a player who already got an SBC, who a lot of the community did this SBC? If I did the SBC, I'd be upset that it's already getting replaced with another Christian Pulisic SBC that was completely voluntary. And Marcus Rashford as well. That evolution cost some coins. That evolution took some grinding. And now there's a better SBC coming out that is going to replace that evolved Marcus Rashford from just 2 weeks ago. But we can still make coins off of these SBCs, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. The Player of the Month Mbappe SBC, whether it's that much of an upgrade on the original or not, it depends on the price, but if they price this at less than what the original, the Player of the Month last month was, which is 4 million coins now, if this ends up being like 3 million coins or less, I would see a lot of people probably going out and doing this SBC, which could cause a lot of the fodder cards to rise. Now, fodder in general is up in price quite a bit. Rodri's up at like 4,000 coins from what he was. 89s are up like 8,000 coins. 88s, we invested in those cards at 13k. They are now 20,000 coins nearly. It looks like you can probably sell for 20k right there. So very inflated prices for fodder cards. I don't see these really coming back down anytime soon, because that Mbappe SBC is probably going to refresh in the next, 36 hours. It's probably going to come out on Friday. So that's going to bring a lot of demand for high-rated fodder cards. And so I look at a card like Rodri, I look at a card even like Kane, because we are going to need a lot of high-rated Team of the Week fodder to complete that Mbappe SBC, if you do want to go out and do that. So I think Katie McCabe, you could be sitting on a gold mine right there. She is 45k, and if you do take a look at that graph, it has risen from 40,000 coins up to to 45K very quickly, even though that just went into packs. In theory, that card should only be going down in price from here, but due to the hype of Mbappe, it's actually gone up. Now, you've got to fight against the supply of weekend league demand this weekend. Of course, you've got division rival rewards coming out here in about, an hour after this video goes live. So there is going to be supply for this Katie McCabe, but that Player of the Month Mbappe SBC could be bringing this card up. Now, if you don't want to take a risk on a card that's in packs, totally understandable. You could go up to that 90 rating Harry Kane because he is a card that is fluctuating a ton. Take a look at this. He was about 100,000 coins. He went up to about 130. He's back down to 115 right there. The next cheapest is 124. That is a card that is super rare. It's not that common on the market because it got used so much in the original Player of the Month Mbappe SBC. So it being the only 90 rated Fodder Team of the Week card is actually valuable, and you could maybe see that card rise even higher. But of course, you could also play around with those fluctuations. I mean, buying that for 115 and selling it for 130, you're already making, 10,000 coins almost after tax on that card. So a very good trading method and possibly investment at the exact same time. We've even seen some of the higher rated cards like Prinz, which is a, technically Fodder 92 rated card, 160,000 coins. Well, it was 120 before the news of the Mbappe. So 160 looks like the peak of her spike. She actually went back down to 140, back up to 160, back down to like 148, back up to 160. So 160 is kind of the high point for Prinz, where Kane, that 115 might be the low point. But those are cards to maybe keep an eye out for high budget fodder cards that could go up due to an Mbappe SBC. We're also going to get a Lukaku SBC. I don't really think Prinz is going to be going up in price for a Lukaku SBC, but it could replace Openda in some people's teams because he's a Belgian striker from the Serie A, but they're very different players. Openda's pace. This is a stocky, good shooter, physical. If he has that low-driven plus, I could see some people do it, but it reminds me of that Jean-Philippe Mateta SBC from like a week and a half ago, but the Serie A version of that is really not going to affect the market too much. We also have the leaked Team 2 coming to the game as well. You got to consider that Joao Felix going out of packs. The gold card fits into the new striker evolution, which, by the way, Endrick does as well. We invested in Endrick in the last episode just out of pure curiosity and guessing on who could fit into future evolutions. That card went from about 900 coins all the way up to 1.9 thousand coins just because of that evolution. Now, Joao Felix fits into that evolution, and he goes out of packs on Friday. So if you can get him for discard price, it's a no-risk investment. Do I think he's going to go up that much? Nah, not really, but it's no risk, and it could have a lot of upside. But we've also got a very good list of players here, a lot of meta cards that are going to be very expensive, and this team is in packs while the upgrade happens. It's going to happen on Wednesday, November 5th, when the full moon comes. All of these cards are going to get a stat upgrade to 99. Just one stat, not the overall rating. One stat to 99. It's going to cause these cards to go up into the hype. And so I think buying these cards sooner than we buy normal promos is the move. We normally buy promos towards the end of the week. We bought Team 1 of Scream a little bit, earlier on the weekend, like on Sunday. But for Team 2, I might buy those cards by Saturday because we're expecting these cards to get hyped up going into, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning when that upgrade is bound to happen. Now, it does come down to what stat as well. I think that, if you have a Mariona going to 99 pace, that's going to be a lot better than 99 dribbling because it's a bigger upgrade on that pace. And obviously pace is king in every single iteration of Ultimate Team. So I think the cards that get the pace boost, the shooting boost, the defense boost, if they're, a defensive mid or a center back, are going to be the ones that rise the most in the hype, but they all could go up into the hype. And so investing early in these cards is a move. But we've got to talk about something that's happened on the market over the last couple of hours because we just had an update come in from EA Sports themselves, basically reverting the last patch, which nerfed controlled sprint dribbling. Now, when you did those, 360s at the top of the box, they were, pretty annoying. but apparently enough of the community has complained that they are gone, that they have come back. EA Sports can't even decide what they want to do with this game, and I'm not sure the community does either. Now, I sit on the sidelines. I don't really put my input into gameplay too often, and I'm not going to start now. It's just not worth it for me. I just kind of have a pretty consistent opinion that I just don't really love the gameplay, and I just stick with that. Whatever they do to the gameplay, I don't really love it. I like trading a lot more. But with that being said, that had a big effect on the market, guys. Take a look at Claudia Pina. Pina coin is what people are calling her this year. This card has been unreal. And I can't imagine that there's going to be a great bit of information or news tomorrow with how quickly this card went from 10K to like 30K after this news came out. Remember the first time this card spiked from 5K to like 80K within 3 days? That card ended up getting so many people banned because EA Sports' ban system doesn't even understand their own market. That just happened again. We might be seeing another wave of bans coming in from people who had Pina at 10K and sold for 30 or 25. And right now she's 20. She's still double of the price of what she was. I personally don't think that this is going to hold its value, because you got to understand why this card dropped in the first place wasn't exactly the nerf on controlled sprint dribbling. Sure, it maybe made the card a little bit worse, but not that much. She doesn't even have technical plus on the card. The reason this card has been dropping over time is simply because the market is coming down over time. The card's been in packs for longer. The card was out of packs during that first spike, and so it's been in packs for longer. It's not too hard to pack an 86 rated Claudia Pina. Her pack weight's pretty high in comparison to a card like Nuno Menj, which is what YL was saying on Twitter, was basically saying she's got like fodder pack weight. So it's not too hard to pack this kind of card. And so the supply is just outweighing the demand at this point. And sure, we're having a quick wave of demand on this Pina coin, but I just don't think it's going to last. I think it's going to come right back down this week, and maybe not to 10K, but it slowly will come back down from 21,000 coins, which is where it's at right now. Now, the other cards might be a little safer. You know, Aitana Bonmati, she does have technical plus, and that is going to be a much better playstyle plus now that this controlled sprint dribbling has been reverted. That card went from 330K all the way up to 400K. Lamine Yamal went from about 130,000 coins, which was his lowest point, all the way back up to 160,000 coins. Nice profit if you're looking at it. I would probably take the profit. I don't think that this is going to be a permanent price change for these cards, but it definitely does add value. So it's not like these cards, you know, it's a pump and dump by any means for Lamine Yamal. This card does have more value than it did, but it is going to be hard for that card to stay 164K all throughout this weekend. So I do think it comes back down a little bit. Taking the profit on those kind of cards is the move. But Crouch is interesting because he's 92,000 coins right now. We've seen this card already spike to 130,000 coins at one point. He was 130K during that pump right there. I don't know where that came from or why he was so hyped up for a few hours, but he went up to 130K, 110K average on the hour, but sat around 90K for all of this time. Now, with the new news of this technical plus kind of being more valuable, this is a card that is now at 90,000 coins, and it was at a low point of 45K. I think it could honestly go extinct at 140K at some point. Now, that is just more of an inference based on what we've seen from this card. It has the most hype out of any of the Ultimate Scream cards by far. And all it's going to take is just a little bit more hype, and this card is going to go to the moon. I definitely could see it going extinct at 140K at some point over the next couple of days. But understand, you're playing with fire, okay? It is the most risky investment if you want to go for it, because that card could easily crash if they say, oh, this Peter Crouch, he's not going to get a pace boost. He's not going to get a shooting boost. He's going to get a defense boost or something like that. He's going to get a defense boost for his 99 stat. And then all of a sudden, the panic selling begins. So you are playing with fire, but like, are EA Sports really going to go out of their way to like screw up this card and give him a passing or a defense boost or something like that? Even if they boosted his dribbling to 99, with that technical plus and the fact that he's 6'7", that is enough for him to go up in price just in the hype. And I really like that as a risky, high adrenaline fueled investment. We've also got a new evolution coming. It's going to be for goalkeepers, which is surprising because I feel like we We've also got a new evolution on its way, another Goalkeeper Evolution. It hasn't been too long since we got our last Goalkeeper Evolution. We haven't yet had a right back evolution in a while, a right wing evolution in a while, nor have we had a center attacking mid evolution in a while. We just had a striker evolution yesterday, so those might be some positions to look out for. We talked about that in the last episode, so check that out after this. But goalkeepers, again, a maximum of 82 rated. You can see Geronimo Rulli can be used, but as we go and look at, 82 rated goalkeepers maximum, and not to say that all of these will fit the requirements when they actually come out. I'm not sure if there is a certain, stat that can't be too high, or a certain, rolls plus that they can't have, or something along those lines with their restrictions. But most likely you'll be able to use most goalkeepers up to 82 rated. Nonetheless, you look at the most expensive of the goalkeepers right now, and you can see that you've got like Vicario is a decent shout, Nick Pope is a decent shout, but it's Andre Onana, because he got a move to Trabzonspor in the Turkish league, which obviously is 650 coins, very, fodder card right there. His United card, his Manchester United card, it's 3,000 coins, which like most people can swing 3K. If this is a good evolution, this card has not just been out of packs for a little bit. It's been out of packs since like day one of the game when he got that move to Trabzonspor. This United card was only in packs for a couple of days. And when we look at this graph over the course of the last couple of weeks, you can see he spiked from 900 coins up to 5K, 6K during that first evolution we got like a week ago for goalkeepers. He came back down to about 2K. And now that this is leaked, he's back up to 3K right now. He got, there's a lot of fluctuation here. There's a good chance that he does spike back up to like 4,000 coins or 5,000 coins if we're lucky. So I'm keeping my eye on Onana. I'll probably try to snipe some for less than 3K just so I can limit my risk a little bit. I can't imagine this card's going to get back down to like under 1,500, but that's probably the low point that it could get to. So there is definitely some risk involved with it. I wouldn't go all in on this investment by any means, but something that I'm probably going to be buying a few of. And then if he does rise even into the hype, I would sell. Like, I wouldn't buy this for more than 3K. Like, definitely don't spend more than that. And if he gets up to like 4 or 5K in the hype, I'm just going to sell that kind of card. If you guys want more trades and investments though, check out Next Level FUT Trading. It is the best live trading service by FUT Peppy, who's the #1 trader in the history of Ultimate Team, the most transfer profit. He'll send you these trading lists. You can kind of see on those that phone right there, but he'll tell you what to buy these cards for, what to sell them for, when to sell them, all that good stuff. It'll make you millions throughout the year, and you can get involved for €5 for a 2-week trial. The link will be at the top of the description. But that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to drop a like. We're going for 400 likes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.